Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. It's not that good of a morning for Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update on that. Yesterday, unfortunately, we had a breakdown. I'm not certain. Like yesterday, I did a middle of the day. Oh, that sound is horrible. But yesterday I did a middle of the day market update. Of course, I'm not sure where we were then. No, we were actually still holding 109,800, but I already told you yesterday in the middle of the day market update. Holding that level. Like yesterday, we had a pretty good candle, and to be completely honest, yesterday I was slightly bullish. All right, I actually thought we had a good chance to not only hold support, but to also get a move into 113 and 114,000. But over the course of the last 24 hours, the fundamentals have quite significantly changed. I mean, obviously, gold has been going parabolic for some time already, which means that there is some sort of unrest, at least in the financial markets. That's the least we can say. But then what we have seen yesterday evening, it really started, but it has continued over the course of the Asian and the European session today, is that equities are extremely weak. You can see the S&P 500 right now is pushing down to the same levels we bottomed at Friday the 10th of October. And just in general, I mean, this is the first time in a very, very long time when we have broken a 12-hour uptrend. The last time we broke the 12-hour uptrend was right here at the end of February 2025, obviously also because of those tariff fears. So this is bad news. Obviously, I mean, the Bitcoin and the crypto markets are correlated to equities. If equities are going to go into a downtrend right here, that's good news for us that are stockholders and stock buyers, because we can get some lower entries. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's bad news for Bitcoin, right? So that has changed, and you can also see that the volatility index right now is absolutely rocketing for multiple reasons, but just in general, same reason as with the gold, there just is a lot of unrest in the market right now, and that's bearish for risky assets. And Bitcoin is a risky asset, right? So yesterday, we already failed to hold that level right here at 109.8. I told you yesterday already, if we get a breakdown below that with high volume, which we did, we need to reclaim it very, very quickly. Otherwise, we'll drop down lower. We got a high volume breakdown below that, and we did not reclaim that. So I already said this morning in my premium feeds, like, all right, I'm de-risking because it looks like we're going lower. And right now you can see like we have a very strong move down right here. There's a lot of imbalances in that move. So I do think that relatively soon, maybe at the end of the day, maybe over the course of the weekend, maybe Monday, we'll get some spikes up and we'll definitely fill some of those imbalances. But for now, I think it matters more when we're talking about the direction of Bitcoin, that this is with relatively high volume. Like especially for the European session, this is high volume and it's accompanied by bearish fundamentals, a high volatility index. The last time the volatility index was this high was at the end of April. And then we also have the S&P 500, like I said, very aggressively pushing down. So fundamentals are bad. Bitcoin had a technical breakdown yesterday already. It hasn't been able to reclaim that. So I have to be bearish here on Bitcoin. Now, obviously, look, I said this on X as well. I mean, I'm posting more on X. So if you're interested in that, check that out. But I said as well, like, you want to buy the fear, right? And right now there is obviously quite a lot of fear in the markets. So I think we're getting closer to an area to buy because of the fear. But right now, there's just too much strength still behind the move. So the first level we're reaching is 104,500. Like I said, I mean, relatively soon, I think we will define the local bottom, and I think we'll fill some of those imbalances to the upsides. But ultimately, my bearish right now is my bias right now is bearish. And I would say it's a little bit more likely when we're talking about, strong support levels that we will have to move into this level right here, more towards 100,000, where we have the weekly trend. So those are my thoughts. And then maybe later we can talk about low 90s, but that's a little bit early, I would say, for now. So short term, I think we're going to drop down lower. I think relatively, I think we're closer to a local bottom than 109,000, then we can fill some of those imbalances to the upsides. But after that imbalance, I do still think we're going to be bearish for now, unless the fundamentals change. But if that happens, I'll be the first to tell you. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.